Lexington, with Cincinnati, the 2 seed, jumping way out in front here early. And the Southeast Regional 15-7 over the 3 seed Georgia Tech.
All-conference performer Matt Harpring really having a hard time getting off a shot, Jim.
Jackson Jolson hits the jumper, and it's a 10-point Bearcat lead. It was 13-2 at the start as Tech hit only 1 of its first 11. Marbury hasn't scored so far. He's missed on 2 attempts. In fact, Georgia Tech started out only 1 of 11 from the field. Marbury now 0 for 3.
Now Marbury is being guarded by Damon Flint, probably the biggest man that's guarded Marbury all year. Flint, 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", long arm, giving Marbury a lot of problems so far. I would think that Stefan ought to drive the ball on him. Try to put it on the floor more.
Darnell Burton has come in for Cincinnati as Flint hits another 12-footer, 19-7. The Bearcats in front, 27-4 on the year. Cincinnati only losses to UAB, Arizona on a last-second 65-foot shot, Louisville and Marquette.
Harpring getting nothing tonight. Cincinnati really defending Harpring and Marbury well. Montgomery's Brennan.
Flint.
Wide open look, Jim.
Flint with 7, 21-7, and a timeout called by Georgia Tech. So an explosion at the start for Cincinnati. 21-7. On Sunday for the regional final. And Billy, your thoughts so far? 21-7, early action here.
Well, I think that Georgia Tech has one chance in a ball game like this, and that is to play the game on the perimeter, to play the game a lot slower, and to try to pack things in. So far, it's been all Cincinnati. It's the way they want to play the game. A lot of banging on the inside. Cincinnati with much more mature athletes than does Georgia Tech have, and more of them. There's another example. Elisma bangs into Jolson, and all that happens is he just bounces off.
Cincinnati so far has not even committed a turnover and is on an 8-0 run. This is their super sub, Darnell Burton, who gives them 14 a game off the bench. 3-pointer off the mark.
Ill-advised shot. They can get much better. As an example,
Burton gave it up. Great passing, and Brandon on the inside. Boy, that was real good teamwork.
That's Georgia Tech's game. Now, what's going to be interesting for Marbury is he going to try to take this game over? And it's quite a test for this young man right now, Jim. Here we see that Cincinnati teamwork. I said they can get a much better shot, and certainly they did. Damon Flint is having a tremendous game on both ends of the floor.
How did you like Flint's reaction? He didn't have to look back.
Well,
he dished it off to Brandon and just looked right into the stands after the assist. That foul, by the way, committed by Jolson, will put Marbury at the line.
And to think of Marbury at the very start of this year when he went up against Georgetown and the game got away from him and he tried to take the game on one-on-one. This will be a real test for this young man mentally in this ball game because he's up against superior forces. He'll have to think his way through the game.
Well, after scoring 29 in the second round victory against Boston College, took him almost 11 minutes to get his first point tonight. 2 for 2 on that trip. He had missed 2 free throws earlier tonight.
And the way he can score tonight being guarded by Flint is to drive on by him and try to get himself free to kick out.
Marbury's missed all 3 shots from the field. 23-9 Bearcats.
Switching man-to-man by Georgia Tech.
And it's going against Cincinnati's Bobby Brannon.
Well, Bobby Huggins went to his bench early, and he will go early and often. But it could take away some of their momentum.
That's the first Bearcat turnover. Fortson returns, the 6'7" sophomore, second-team All-America, in for Jolson. Fortson with an early bucket. Georgia Tech now almost 4 minutes without a field goal.
When they set screens, Cincinnati just powers them off. There's the dribble drive I was talking about. Marbury can't get by. Good help by Legree.
Harpring wanting to post up, wanting his hands on it, but has to give it back. 3-pointer, Marbury way short.
Marbury rushes in for the rebound. Flint was open, and he's still open. There he is.
Lob to Flint. Oh, it makes the shot on the lob. That's a three-pointer.
Well, Burton was trying to pass it, and he was right on target.
How about that? A three-point pass. Foul on Burton. That was super simple. Who hit 7 threes in an NCAA tournament game last year. Got one the unconventional way.
Well, Jimmy got 55 assists on the year and only 35 turnovers, and he's shooting 42% of threes, so he ought to be pretty accurate getting it up that way. But Flint was off and running on this one. Hangs onto the rim a little bit.
Now the crowd roars. Melvin Levitt comes in, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio. They love to see him in there, provides so much excitement. Big Cincinnati turnout here tonight. The university only about 80 miles away from Rupp Arena. Barry pushes off to retrieve that one. No call. Now it's and knocked out by the Bearcats.
Bobby Huggins over there saying that went off Barry. He's wanting it all tonight. Quite a competitor.
26-9 Cincinnati with 8:11 to go in the first half. Only 15% from the field. Gary Saunders hits the three. Freshman from New York.
Nice cross-court passing by Barry, something he's really good at. Legree, the combination baseball-basketball player out there just running the show. Nice patience. Transfer from Louisville.
Yeah, he's 59-game starter at Louisville. Good rejection by Elismo.
Well, you've got Damon Flint, transfer from Ohio State. Two programs that could really have used both of those guys.
Barry on the drive and knocked away by Art Long over to a teammate Fortson. Legree looks in the middle, goes to the wing. Burton three. Yes. Same spot he lobbed it in for three earlier. This time he got set, and he has 6 points.
That's Conference USA's sixth man of the year, and I think he's only six because Bobby Huggins likes him in that position. It's not that he couldn't be starting for somebody.
He's your second leading scorer, and he comes off the bench. Harpering lost control of it. Save, though.
Boy, the strength differential in these two teams is amazing.
Maddox knocks it down. He has made 15 of his last 24 three-point shots.
They had double figures against both BC and Austin Peay. 12 now for 20. Actually 13 for 21 now in the NCAA tournament.
29-15. Cincinnati.
Harpering should have stayed on that double team.
Long too strong. He was the one that got him off to the early jump with 8 quick points in that 13-2 lead. Barry on the drive, pushed outside by Burton.
Burton wanting to stop the three-point shot. I really think, Jim, even with this differential right now of 14 points, Georgia Tech, if they're going to be in this game at all, have to slow this thing down. Get hung up in this kind of a pace.
Keith Gregor comes in for Burton. And that was the 6th team foul. Burton to the bench with 2. Maddox just hit one. Can he do it again? Yes. Billy, we're talking now over 60% from 3 the last 9 games. 16 of 25 is Michael Maddox the last 9 games. 64%.
And Georgia Tech tries to pick up full court again. That'll increase the pace of this game, which I don't think is to their liking.
Flint, tough shot. Fortson had position, though. So tough to get him out of the way. +1.
Jimmy, we're talking about a guy that has great hands, that weighs 260 pounds. We're talking about Wes Unseld type going back a few years when you try to think of a wide body with great hands like that doesn't have great height, but knows how to position himself. Terrific job.
That's the second on Maddox. And now the Conference USA Player of the Year can bring the lead back to 14.
He drops his body fat from 15% down to 9 and gained 15 pounds to go with it over the summer.
There's Marbury. Got by Flint for a moment. In the lane, Saunders banks it home. 31-20.
Good move without the ball by Saunders. This Georgia Tech is an excellent passing team.
26-9 lead. A 17-point lead has been trimmed to 11. Fortune, that was too soft a pass, too lazy a pass. Saunders drives, picked up. Hold on a minute.
Offensive goaltending.
Yep, take it away. Right after it, there was basket interference on the other side.
I don't
the first
think
one.
it would have gone in, but the ball is in the cylinder, and you can see Eddie touches the ball, and then there would have been, as you said, basket interference the other way. But he did touch that ball while it was in the cylinder.
Terrence Davis has come in. And for those of you expecting to see the Arizona-Kansas game, tip time, 10:53 Eastern. And we'll be taking you there shortly out to Denver with the winner to play Syracuse in the regional final. What a thriller that was tonight. Fortson, good look. Gregor missed it, but Long tips it home.
Lon Gaston was considered as the top wide receiver in high school football a year ago.
Marbury missing a lay-in. Georgia Tech ball.
Jim, a year ago, when you look at Gaston, you say, what a body. That's going the other way.
Yeah, they overruled it.
Right.
Overruled it.
You say, what a body Gaston has. When you see him standing in the post against Danny Forsum, there's no comparison between the two. One, a great football player. Of course, Forsum played a little football, too, before he got to Cincinnati. But you're talking about 260 to 225.
Talking a Karl Malone-like build right there. Fortson with 5 rebounds and 4 points. And that went off his fingertips, but he was pushed from behind by Harpring.
Never even knew he was there. It's kind of like a fly on his shoulder. Watch as Harpring gets caught down inside. He's fighting. Now, he's a former football player, too. Forsum didn't even know he was there.
We're Harpring his first. And just the 4th team foul. 4:26 to go in the half. Maddox will come back in for Tech.
Coming out number 11, Gary Saunders.
Gives him a Maddox on the inside with Gaston. Here we go. Barry takes Flint. Pretty good matchup there. Long hasn't posted up in a while, Jim. Let's see if he can get the ball down low.
Long thought about it. They don't want him shooting from out there. Gregor, that's a 2. Just inside the arc. Man who is playing in his 130th game, a Cincinnati record.
3-time captain of this team, and of course his dad played with Bobby Crimmins down at South Carolina, so I'm sure that one hurt doubly for Bob. Flint again can stay away from Marbury with those long arms.
Did he travel? Yes. They have the whistle under 4 minutes. It's an official timeout. Long with 10 points, 7 rebounds. Northern Kentucky faces Fort Hays State for the Division II championship tomorrow, 12:30 on CBS, followed by the road to the Final Four at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Then regional final action, the Midwest final, Wake Forest, Kentucky. Then the East Regional Championship, Georgetown and UMass. Tomorrow right here on CBS. Cincinnati, with 8 different players having scored, leads by 15. Drew Barry and Stephon Marbury are both 0 for 5 from the field. Legree has it taken away. Ahead Marbury. Will he get his first bucket? Yes.
Basket by Marbury.
Jim, these two teams faced each other in December of last year, with Cincinnati coming away with a 3-point victory over the Rainbow Classic. A lot of the same players obviously out here because they returned basically their teams intact, except for James Forrest and Travis Best.
Yeah, Best had a 3-point shot at the buzzer to send it to overtime that went astray. Long, good move to the hole, charged off.
Good job by Gaston holding his ground. Long off to a good first half. Didn't get away with that one.
Second on long.
Here you see the good move inside. Didn't use the swim stroke, so he got by with that, but then got caught for the second foul.
That's the 7th on Cincinnati. So Long sits with the 2. That'll send Gaston to the line. Only a 53% free throw shooter. He'll shoot a 1-on-1.
Well, Bobby Crimmins, throughout his career as a coach at Georgia Tech, has never gone with a deep team. And think back to his first great teams with Mark Price. They basically played 5 with 1 sub that came in. In a game like this, it's very tough.
They had a situation this year where they had 2 reserves. Gaston and Saunders score in double figures. It was the first time in 13 years in the ACC they had 2 reserves score in double figures.
Point made. But Georgia Tech's got it back down to 11.
Legree on the floater. Back to 13. 2:42 to go in the half.
And Stephon Marbury getting a pretty good idea of what it's like to play against NBA bodies tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
Playing against a Damon Flint and a Keith Legree.
Well said. Jolson picks up the loose ball. Flint hit a lot from that range, but not this one.
That's Forsum knocks Gaston down with one arm, going for that offensive rebound.
Fortson's first. And Gaston goes back to the line for a 1-on-1.
His first at the team's 8.
You know, Cincinnati all-time tournament win percentage almost 70%. Quite remarkable. Only Duke and UCLA and the others you saw better.
Well,
one more.
Ed Jucker helped that percentage out. He was 11-1.
That's the best.
That's the best of all time. Of course, won the 61 national championship, 70-65 against Ohio State. Came back in 62 and beat Ohio State again. And then, Jim, in what was one of the great upsets of all time, they had the lead but couldn't hang on against Loyola Chicago and lost in overtime by 2.
That was in 63.
Yep.
Loyola that year beat in the first round Mississippi State in its first NCAA game. And now Mississippi State will play the winner of this one on Sunday. Traveling called on Fortson.
What's happening to Cincinnati a little bit now is offensively, with a lot of change in the lineup, they are losing focus on what it got there, and that was banging the ball down in low to Fortson and Long.
Now Georgia Tech's been behind from the get-go, including 13-2 and a couple of times 17-point deficits, but now they can get it under 10 with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Not a good shot. Not a good shot. Big possession for Georgia Tech right there. They want to end up with that ball for Harpering or Marbury, not Gaston with a 3.
Fortson, good fake. Strong on the jumper. Leisman with the rebound. His 6th. And then he turns it over. Georgia Tech does.
After playing solid defense, Jim, give up the ball twice, but having a chance to get the ball, get the score under 10. See Derek Wittenberg over there, Jim, trying to egg his guys on, one of Bob Crimmins' assistants. Will we see Derek in our CBS show?
The Road to Glory Monday night. The 4 most compelling championship games since 1982. Derek Wittenberg and that magical run of the Wolfpack in '83. Certainly one of the candidates to be featured. Greger hits the 3.
That is Cincinnati's game. Into Fortson. Create the double team inside, and he hits out. There's a charge.
Yep, Barry just barreled into Legree. Arizona and Kansas coming up shortly, and we'll be switching some of you to the start of that game in just a few moments.
3 very bad possessions for Georgia Tech. With about 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, they had an opportunity to narrow this thing down, take a bad shot, throw the ball out of bounds, and an ill-advised pass, and then a charge. And there's Derek Wittenberg.
Derek Wittenberg, assistant coach at Georgia Tech. And he was the one who launched that shot at the end against Houston, April the 4th of '83. Slam dunk by Lorenzo Charles for the championship.
Marbury had been able to take this ball away from Legree yet. Legree's got a strong upper body. He's shielding him.
Jolson 2-pointers short. Rebound, Harpring.
Nice screen by Marbury.
Gives it up at the last to Marbury for his 5th assist.
Beautiful screen by Marbury to set up what turned out to be a little pick and roll.
And a 22nd timeout called by Cincinnati.
Here we'll see what I'm talking about. There's Marbury going to set the screen. He gets it back. You know, everybody on this team realizes if you'll keep your eyes open, Barry will find you. You look at that. Marbury never took his eyes off Barry. That's why the young man led the Atlantic Coast Conference in assists 3 straight years.
It's amazing. An all-time assist man at Georgia Tech is Drew Barry. Having a real struggle from the floor tonight. He's 0 for 5, and his worst performance of the season happened right here at Rupp Arena against Kentucky when Barry scored only 2 points and had 5 turnovers.
And Jim, you know, think about that. We talk about Mississippi State played and beat Kentucky at Rupp Arena here a year ago, not in this particular season. Georgia Tech came in here and played him and had Kentucky down at halftime. But then it was a typical Kentucky blowout in the second half. Yeah. Georgia Tech goes zone for the first time.
That was a second half trampling back in December. Look at this. Barry tips it over to a teammate. Georgia Tech end up big here at the end of the first half. Harpring with the baseliner to get it to 10.
Nice positioning by Georgia Tech on that break.
Legree shot. Oh, boy.
Looked like it had the angle. It did.
10-point ball game up in Lexington. Want to get you down to Denver now, and Al McGuire and Tim Ryan are at courtside getting ready for the beginning of Arizona and Kansas. The Wildcats and the Jayhawks right here on CBS. Enjoy the game. We'll see you at halftime.
Back here at Nichols Sports Arena in Denver, West Region semifinal action, our second game. The number 3 seeded Arizona Wildcats and number 2, the Jayhawks of Kansas. Syracuse advanced in a thriller over Georgia, and now awaits the winner of this game between Arizona and Kansas in the Elite 8 matchup on Sunday afternoon. Tim Ryan and Al McGuire back here in Denver. It'll be hard to top the thriller we had in the first game, but these are 2 teams that match up very well. And again, like last week in Providence, 2 outstanding point guards. Reggie Geary for Arizona.
Reggie Geary, Tim, in the last 60 minutes has only had 2 turnovers. He probably has the best set of hands in the tournament. What he does with his emotion, he picks up the whole team, and he will try to shut down Jock Vaughn.
Well, Jock Vaughn is all Big 8. He's academic All-American. He's all everything.
All globe.
Everybody loves him.
Jock Vaughn's distributor. Everybody likes distributors. But what he can do, he shuts down big opponents. He did a tremendous job on Steve Nash last week. But what he brings to the table, he kicks off their offense. He pushes it up court. On the defensive end, as soon as the ball comes over half court, Jock Vaughn will get at that point guard and just smother him.
Kansas has depth. Arizona has a short roster, and they almost had an even shorter one. For more on that, let's go to Bob Lobel.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Arizona guard Joe McLean has been in the hospital all day. He had an IV in his arm. They didn't know what was wrong with him. They thought he might have the flu. He thinks he had food poisoning because as the team went out to a steakhouse last night, he's the only one that had a salad with Thousand Island dressing. Well, the moral of this story is next time order the honey mustard. He is going to start tonight for Arizona.
Bob, I never did like that Thousand Island dressing, but I'm glad that Joe is well enough to play. Number 15, there he is. And the rest of the starting lineups, Ben Davis, he'll be the big man in the middle. He's at 6'8", but he can jump and he can rebound. And for Kansas, of course, we talked about their depth, and they've got the 2 big men inside. LaFrentz and Pollard, both good size. 6'10", Pollard, 6'11", LaFrentz, and a strong bench from the Jayhawks. Lute Olson, coach of the Wildcats, in his
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
Well, we're fired up here in our New York studios. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with Pete Carell and George Raveling. Pennzoil at the Half. We welcome you. Glad you're still with us on this Friday evening. We have a 10-point ball game now. Cincinnati leads Georgia Tech 40-30. Tech on a 10-5 run.
Well, they finally got some penetration in their offense. Cincinnati came into this game, Pat, and one of their goals was to take away guard penetration, make the guards shoot over top. And another thing that Cincinnati's doing is applying physical dominance. Right now, Cincinnati's got 20 points in the paint, Pat.
Look at Pete's preparation over here. I see him making notes, writing things down. What do you got there for us,
This
Coach?
guy's vocabulary is killing me. Well, I want to say this, that they have a sub for Cincinnati that's making a couple threes, and you dump the ball inside, and the old cliche inside, outside, it's working to perfection.
It's fun coaching these teams from here, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, yes,
it's a little easier, too. Isn't it a great game earlier here on CBS? I hope you watched it. Syracuse and Georgia. What a ball game. 2 points at the end in the first half. Georgia looking to contain the Orangemen in the regional semifinal. And there they are. I love that match. Robinson sinks to 3. Right there, giving Georgia the first lead of the game with 16:39 remaining.
Ever watched? It was pretty good. I'll tell you, we were almost dead twice. I thought we were almost dead, but we came back. These kids all year long have played hard. We go to John. I was going to take the timeout with 7 seconds.
I thought you should have taken it.
Only thing is, I saw it going to John, and he makes 3 in a row, and he wants the ball. If we take timeout there, we've got to go against their quick guards. I don't think we'll get that good a shot. Hey, if it didn't work, then I'll be the one taking the blame as always. But
you're a great coach.
Play.
Don't cry to me, Jim. You're a great coach.
You know I have to
Let me tell you something. Are you pleased? I want to ask you an obvious question.
Did you give me that play?
Are you pleased that Wallace didn't go to the NBA?
I'm just a little happy. How about we had to play him with 4 fouls the last 14 minutes of the game in the overtime?
That was unbelievable, Coach. You're my man, Jim.
Thanks.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Al McGuire, those guys talking. We have a coach's argument here, though, in the studio about that.
Well, I thought that Jim Boeheim took a gamble, and it paid off. 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Wallace had 4 fouls. He played the rest of the game in the overtime.
Well, I'm glad he didn't call the timeout there, because what happens, you give your defense a chance to set up, and they're in transition, and the guy made a hard shot, but he had a good look at the basket.
Want to get the final word
in? Hey, Pat, that one moment was worth Wallace staying in college.
It was a shining moment there. All right, so a 2-point game and some excitement here on CBS. Another game going on right now in the Mile High City. They played that game up there in altitude, too. Kansas and Arizona just underway. We like to say a close game. 8-6, 17:46 left. Let's go up to the Mile High City. Al McGuire and Tim Ryan again.
Kansas with a 2-point lead here. 17:49 to go first half. Tim Ryan and Al McGuire. In Denver, we had a thriller in the first game. Syracuse holding off the challenge of the Bulldogs of Georgia, the lowest seed remaining in the tournament. But now, Kansas leading Arizona early here by 2. Pierce driving. And the offensive foul charged on Pierce is first. Syracuse, the number 4 seed in the West, advances to Sunday afternoon, the regional final, awaiting the winner of 2 and 3, Kansas and Arizona.
Watch Jock Vaughn here pick him up. As soon as he goes over half court, he gets down in that defensive position, keeps his eye on his belly button of Beery.
Phil McLean feeding the corner. Here comes Reggie Geary.
Nice move offensively. Put it in off a kiss on a running shot.
Tied at 8. Bad miss from the corner from Haas. Haas follows in, but is taken away by Davis.
Twin Towers from Kansas have to play a little bit more physical.
Lane out for Geary to Simon. Geary behind the screen of Williams. Corey Williams pump fake. Jumper off the front iron. Arizona keeps it alive. McLean with the rebound. This inside, and the follow. Williams, Corey Williams off to a good start for the Wildcats. 6 points for him. Pollard with the stuff.
Looks like they're exchanging baskets down low, but I guarantee you this, Kansas, the Friends, and Pollard got to play more physical if they want to handle Arizona tonight.
Tied at 10. Geary for McLean. McLean for 3.
He's well.
He's very well. Shoots from 41% from beyond the arc.
All right, you'll see a good chunk of this game later on tonight with Arizona leading 13-10 fairly early in the game in the first half, and you'll get this game later. One other score to report on tonight, Connecticut and Mississippi State. Mississippi State just too big and large tonight for UConn. 60-55 was the final, and so Mississippi State advances in the final. Did you have them in your brackets? Join us tomorrow on CBS at 12:30 p.m. Eastern to bring you the men's Division II National Championship game, Northern Kentucky and Fort Hays State. Then at 3 o'clock, the Road to the Final Four show. Mike Krzyzewski joins us here in the studio. Then at 3:40, the Midwest Regional Final. Tip-off between Wake Forest and Kentucky. That's a 3:40 tip-off. Then the East Regional Final between the second-seeded Georgetown and top-seeded UMass as we start to set our Final Four already. It's here. Thank you for watching Pennzoil at the Half. You guys going to argue for the rest of the day? You can go ahead. We'll see you later. Stay with us.
Pennzoil at the Half was sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
From the free throw line.
He reminds you a lot of Kevin McHale, but he doesn't have the physical play. Kevin could really, he looked like an angel, but he wasn't. He looked like an altar boy, Kevin McHale.
Had nothing to do with his heritage, of course. Rafe LaFrance makes the second. 13-10 Arizona, 15:31 to go. Victory over the Big East in Lexington tonight. Number 5 seed Mississippi State ousting UConn, the top seed, and that next matchup, Georgia Tech, Cincinnati at 2 and 3, and the winners meet Sunday at 5 Eastern time, the tip time. Here on CBS, exclusive coverage.
Mississippi State could end up in the Garden State in New Jersey for the Final Four.
Richard Williams leading his team, a big Eric Dampier in the middle.
Jones, the JUCO that came in, the best junior college ball player in the country last year, and Wilson, an outstanding guard. Ooh, big shot.
Ryan Robertson for 3. Arizona leading here 27-18 now. Robertson's first basket. A freshman from St. Charles, Missouri. And a travel call.
Travel calls on socks that time.
Jason Terry, a freshman from Seattle, number 31. You see those socks pulled all the way up over his calves. Once those pants start to sink a little bit, I don't think they can call them basketball shorts anymore, by the way. I think these are basketball longs all these teams are wearing.
Nice feed to the bucket. Nice kickoff.
Pollard inside. And it's tipped in, I believe, by the Wildcats. No basket. Foul call on Pollard, his second.
Corey Williams tipped it in.
Yeah, I did.
Here's the play. Scott Pollard tries to get a piece of cake there. Doesn't fall.
27-18, the score remains. Arizona. 10:25 to go first half. They are the 3 seed in the West. Foul along the baseline, the first on Thomas. Billy Thomas, number 12, is a sophomore from Shreveport, Louisiana, averaging 5 points a game.
Dickinson
didn't like it.
Dickinson was taking a shot now, Tim. Coach Lutz says he has the quickest first step since Sean Elliott. And Sean Elliott has been a great pro the last 6-7 years.
Michael Dickerson had 13 points against Iowa. He's got 4 here. Sophomore also from Seattle, like his teammate Terry.
He would have started if McLean came up sicker than he was.
Pollard goes out for Kansas. B.J. Williams returns, number 22. Assistant coaches have a real job over there with Roy Williams, keeping track of all of his substitutions.
Oh, a lot of these are multiple, and there's a reason for every substitution.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not by accident.
They look
they're strong in the second half. They can stay tight in the first half. They usually blow you out the second.
Rayford is in. Calvin Rayford, a senior, number 10.
He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I remember him in high school. Very quick, doesn't shoot much. Picks up the tempo when he gets in the ball game.
Thomas trying a 3 off the iron. Rebound Simon. Simon alley-oop for Williams. Corey Williams. 8 points for Williams first half. 31-18.
If it's there, the Wildcats will take the break. Otherwise, they'd rather set up the half-court offense.
Robertson's pass off the mark for LaFrance. It's Arizona ball.
Lute Olson, some competitor. He's been around a long time. 3 Final Fours, 1 at Iowa and 2 at Arizona.
This team very loose in practice yesterday. He was enjoying watching them have a dunk contest after practice and long 3-point shots. In fact, Simon, the sophomore, number 34, is the guy that beat Cincinnati with one from just inside half court at the buzzer earlier in the season. Pushing foul off the ball.
That was a
Dickerson.
Back screen by Dickerson. He moved his arms up, which created the call.
14 fouls on the Wildcats. Kansas has 7. Arizona leading 31-18. This is Jock Vaughn. Pass out for Thomas. The Prince outside.
They don't want to give Haas the 3-pointer.
Defense by Arizona. Pass forced back outside. Vaughn will set it up again.
Under 10 seconds, down to 8 now.
5 on the shot clock. 3-pointer from Haas. Jaron Haas. The 6'3" junior from South Lake Tahoe, California.
They have all the weapons, Kansas. The Jayhawks, they have an answer to everything.
But they trail by 10. Simon couldn't hold the ball. Simon thought it went off the Jayhawks. And it did. It'll be Kansas ball. 3 turnovers now by Arizona.
And here comes the greatest, maybe, distributor point guard in college basketball. If you're open, you're getting the ball from this man.
On to Haas, to Williams. Pass out for Vaughn. Vaughn, nice move in the paint off the back iron. High to rebound is Corey Williams for Arizona.
Vaughn has to play it off the glass. Moving too much towards the basket with that shot. Get the ball down low here once the bend. There it is. Oops.
Dickerson miscue. The pass intended for Davis. Was it tipped by a Jayhawk? Discussion by the officials. Tom O'Neill, Tim Higgins, and Mike Kitts. The officials in this game. Arizona ball. And Dickerson.
Jayhawks were sleepwalking on that play.
Dickerson nearly intercepted. The miss by Haas from 3. Keeps it alive with a good effort, but it's grabbed by Davis. 12-point lead for Arizona. 7:50 to go first half. Simon dribbles and then misses from 3. Rebound by Paul Pierce. This is Pierce, number 34. Pass intended for LaFrentz, and Davis got a hand on it. Pollard set to come back in. 7:32 to go first half. Arizona on top.
Pete Carroll and George Raveling. Tech shooting only 38%.
2 things are happening in this game, Pat. Number 1, Cincinnati's just dominating the inside at both ends of the floor. Number 2, their defense has forced Georgia Tech's perimeter people into bad shots.
Stephon Marbury and Drew Berry, 2 for 16 combined, Pete.
Well, you know, the old question, where's the beef? I guess it's in Cincinnati. However, Cincinnati's 6 for 11 from 3s. That's 18 points.
12:25 left in the game. Cincinnati leads 58-43. Banging the ball inside just as we talked. All right, we'll keep you up to date on that one. Let's send you back to Denver, and Arizona now leads 33-24. Let's go to Al and Tim.
NCAA Division II Championship, Saturday on CBS Sports.
Arizona led by 13 over Kansas here in the first half at Denver. Now it's a 1-point game. 3:53 to go. Kansas has led only once. That was by 8-6. But they have had the run here in the last few minutes of this first half. And they have the ball. Vaughn and LaFrentz talk it over. E.J. Williams, LaFrentz, Vaughn, Sean Pearson, and Ryan Robertson. Now the lineup for the Jayhawks. Roy Williams using all of his bench freely in his first half. As usual, LaFrentz Robertson, the freshman, drives baseline. Won't go for him. Battle for the rebound. Ben Davis comes down with it. Fast break for Arizona. Dickerson takes it back out.
Back around the horn.
Geary. Watched by Pearson. Back for Williams. Had a shot, didn't take it. Dickerson into the paint. And a foul by Vaughn.
Williams has to take that shot. When you're open from the top of the key, you got to take it.
Jock Vaughn, you know, it was interesting reading about after the Santa Clara game. He went to their outstanding guard, Steve Nash, and congratulated him after the game. He had held him to cold 111 shooting during the game. Shut him out in the first half, and he said, you know, you're a great player, and good luck to you in the future. And it's just another an example.
Jayhawk program is close.
Williams on the glass.
Happy birthday, young man.
B.J. Williams, the 6'8 junior from Wichita. 6 points for him. 34-33. Kansas leads. And look at the difference here. Arizona field goals, 2 of 10 after their great start. Only the second lead for Kansas. Charging foul called.
Smothering defense down low. Once Ben Davis got the ball, they smothered him out of frustration again. He tries to force the shot instead of kicking it back out.
First on Davis. Rudolphin takes him out with 2:35 to go. Kansas by 1.
Boy, Williams wants it worked proper and a good shot off this set.
Joe McLean back in the lineup and draws the charging foul. McLean, the guy that spent part of the day in the hospital receiving fluids, has not played a lot in this first half. But he gets the charge from LaFrentz. First personal on LaFrentz. McLean hit a 3 early and then has spent most of this first half on the bench. Kansas by a point. Arizona ball.
We're in a psychological timeout. Whoever goes in with the lead at halftime is a great position to be in this heavyweight contest.
Miles Simon. Kansas right back the other way. What a shot by B.J. Williams.
What they do, if you score, they come right back on top of you. If Jock Vaughn got the ball in his hands, he's going to get it down court, which he did that time.
8 points for Williams. Kansas by a point. 36-35. 1:48 to go in the half. Geary watched by Vaughn. Nice drive. Kicks it out. A bad pass. Intercepted by Williams.
Vaughn makes the best decisions on a 3-man break of any guard in the country.
Pass for Williams. Underneath. Battled away. The rejection.
Close to goaltending.
Corey Williams got it.
That was a walk. He slipped before he went in.
Down to 1:27 left in the half. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Pat O'Brien, George Raveling, and special guest Pete Carrill. We'll update you on all the tournament news, plus a live look in at the Georgia Tech-Cincinnati game, all coming up on Pennzoil at the half.
Paul Pierce just from out of the game. He twisted his ankle slightly, I believe. They took him right out of the ball game.
Kansas led 8-6 early. Arizona went ahead by 13. Kansas now by 1 with 1:20 to go. First half. Look at that pass from Geary to Simon. Simon for 3.
Simon wants the ball and he wants to shoot.
12 points for Miles Simon. Arizona by 2. On to Thomas. Khalif Thomas. LaFrentz missing off the glass. Simon up to rebound.
They're doubling triple team on LaFrentz.
Nice block by LaFrentz of that pass. Doesn't dribble beautifully. Geary, though, fouled him.
It'll be 1-1.
2 on Geary.
Watch Simon knocking it. Haas knocks it down, creates a turnover. And there's the foul by Geary.
Jared Haas. He'll go to the line, 1-1, 38-36, Arizona by 2.
In California, he played with Jason Kidd. Here he plays with Jock Vaughn. You're talking about 2 great guards to have your college career with.
Transferred from California in 1994. California Golden Bears. South Lake Tahoe, California, his home. He brought Kansas to within 1. He's got 9 points. He can tie it here with 45.9 seconds left first half. And he connects to tie it at 38. Geary in control. Simon, he's had the hot hand. Drives into traffic, and he draws a foul from Haas. First on Jared Haas. 10 team fouls now for Kansas.
1 second differential between the shot and the game clock.
Simon will have 2 shots. Simon. 15 points.
Simonson was the guy that hit that big buzzer beater. I think it was against Cincinnati in early February.
I mentioned that earlier. It was about a 65-foot shot.
And he said he felt like it was going to go in from 65 feet.
He was lying on the floor, and when he released it, fell back, threw his hands up. He knew he had it. Routine.
Automatic.
They were shooting those here yesterday at practice just for fun, and very loose and relaxed Arizona team. Simon missing on the second free throw. Arizona by 1, 30 seconds remaining.
They can score here. They take a lead into the locker room.
Doc Vaughn, watched by Jason Terry. Geary on the bench for these final few seconds.
Jock will not make a move for about 9 seconds. The 9 seconds on the clock. Right about now.
He goes to Haas behind the screen, and he hits. Jared Haas. Kansas will go to the locker room. Up by 2 at the half. The end of the first half, Kansas 41, Arizona 39. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this word and a word from your local station.
Pennzoil at the half, sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
See, we have 24 sodas here and about 15 cups of coffee. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to Pennzoil at the half, along with the coaches, George Raveling and Pete Carrill. And what do you make of this game? 41-39, a game of runs, really.
Well, I think there's a battle going on right now between both teams as to which team is going to control the tempo of the game. Arizona wants an up-tempo. Kansas wants a slower tempo. And right now, it's about a standoff.
Pete, Jock Vaughn has 2 points. Is that a concern or not?
I don't think so. What I think is very important right now is the number of missed shots around the basket by Arizona because of the size of the Kansas inside players.
41-39 is our score at halftime. Glad you're with us, by the way, on this Friday night. Another game going on out in Lexington. Going to give you some bonus coverage of this one. Cincinnati leads Georgia Tech 72-58. 5:29 left in the ball game. Billy Packer and Jim Nance at the microphone.
Just 5:29 remaining. A game that's been dominated by Cincinnati from the start. Saunders with the bump. And they send Flint to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Bobby Crimmins kind of laughing because that was somewhat of a touch foul after we've seen all this banging here tonight. He just shakes his head.
Cincinnati really silenced the Yellow Jacket attack in the game's opening minutes, much like UMass did last night against Arkansas.
You know, Jim, we talk about guys going into the pro. Just think Cincinnati, D'Antonio Wingfield would be what, a senior now?
Be a junior.
Would he be just a junior? That's right. He went after his freshman year, didn't he?
Yep. Played 1 year.
Yep. You imagine what he'd be like as an addition to this team. And has basically wasted his time in the NBA.
3 different teams. Barry. Burton snaps the outlet.
Legree again with another great decision. Didn't see anything available. Took his time.
Flint.
Oh, another great play.
And Cincinnati somehow keeps possession, then turns it over.
Burton has not had a real big night for him.
10 points off the bench. The average is 14. That's a double dribble on Saunders.
When he caught it and brought it back down, that created the turnover. Many people think Burton not only the best sixth man in Conference USA, but in the country as well.
Very possible.
You get an explosive scorer like that coming off the bench. And you know, we've talked about Flint, transfer from Ohio State. Derek Anderson, who's obviously playing so well for the University of Kentucky, another Ohio State product that transferred out of there.
Yep. Burton with the turnaround, back to a 16-point advantage. Stepping back, Saunders three-pointer.
That's Maddox's fifth, I think, is it?
That is indeed. Number 5, Maddox.
Played a terrific game out here tonight against very formidable opponent.
All right, so 4:09 left in that game. Cincinnati well in control, 74-58. What happened to Georgia Tech there, Pete?
Well,
so far, there's still time.
One of the things I think that we ought to mention is that this fella, Damon Flint, is a whale of a player. He showed up nicely. And they have a sub coming in there by Darnell Burton, and he's hitting threes. And they have not done a good job of taking care of that.
George, you got a comment?
And Cincinnati's not getting enough credit for their defense, Pat. They have taken the big three, Marbury, Barry, and Harpling, and they came into the game averaging 48 points a game. Right now, they've got 30.
All right, gentlemen, game of the night so far has been Syracuse win over Georgia. 83-81 was the final, an overtime game. Georgia was looking to contain the Orangemen in the regional.
Well, one thing Boeheim proved that is he's a risk taker. Wallace picked up his 4th foul with 18:15 left in the game. He set him for a while, brought him back with 14 minutes to go, and he was able to play the rest of the game in the overtime. And hooray for Boeheim.
You disagree, right, Pete?
You can't disagree with George. It can't be done. Let's say this. I'm glad Jimmy didn't call that timeout, because what it would have done would be to allow the other coach.
A 5-point game there, that final, and State's tough. They're big and they're tough. Tomorrow at CBS here at 12:30, join us for the men's Division II game, national championship game, Northern Kentucky and Fort Hays State. Then at 3 o'clock, the road to the Final Four. Mike Krzyzewski joins us here, talk a little hoops with us. Then at 3:40, the Midwest Regional Final tip-off. Wake Forest and Kentucky, we begin to set our Final Four, and Georgetown and Massachusetts at 6 o'clock. We thank you for joining us on Pennzoil at the Half. Hope you enjoy the second half here on CBS, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Pennzoil at the Half was sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
The young man that has played a sensational game, Keith Legree. Terrific decision-making, solid defensively, taking no bad shots, hitting the right man at all times.
When he was recruited, he's from Statesboro, Georgia. He was recruited by Bobby Crimmins. Crimmins made the statement that the best meal he's ever had on a recruiting trip was in the home of Keith Legree. Said his mother just kept bringing course after course. It was something special, said Bobby Crimmins. Legree ended up signing with Louisville, started 59 games in 2 years, and then transferred to Cincinnati. Marbury fires.
Harpring still battling out there. Give that kid a lot of credit.
Bearcat ball.
And Cincinnati looks like, Jim, they're not even tired. Their guys, you know, look at them. They aren't even breathing heavy. Georgia Tech kids look like they're ready to just be thrown in a sauna somewhere and just relax.
Stolen away, Marbury. Harpring with the assist to Stefan, but 2:30 to go, still 16-point differential here. Flint, high lob, and too far for Fortson, who will bring it back out.
Georgia Tech now just grabbing and following. They've got to be careful not to pick up Intentional.
This man's brother, the last time Georgia Tech reached the Sweet 16, his brother John had 29 points, but Tech lost in the regional semifinals to Memphis back in '92.
Quite a story. Next year, all three of those brothers will probably be playing in the NBA.
And the eldest, Scooter, has had a nice career of his own, really. Played at Kansas.
And goes on to Europe to play. And you know, when you think about it, incredible careers on behalf of all of them. And Scooter comes away with the one guy that got the national championship, Danny Manning in Kansas.
Gregor becomes the 6th Bearcat in double figures. Barry set this time, but short. Again, fatigue, right? Thrown away.
You know, that fatigue just takes away your legs and takes away your jump shot. And then sometimes your decision-making process as well. Barry is now 2 for 12.
Marbury is 4 for 13. 6 of 25 for the backcourt at Georgia Tech tonight.
And if they were to win this game, it had to be a much slower pace, and it had to be done on the perimeter offensively. Slow half court at a time, and that was not to be.
You want a physical matchup, folks? Come back here on Sunday when you see Mississippi State with the likes of
either. And therefore, its backcourt will have to create a tempo in the ball game, not like Georgia Tech did tonight if you're going to stay with this Cincinnati club. I think back Cincinnati undefeated this year till they went down and lost to UAB. Probably the greatest night in Birmingham since UAB took on Indiana and beat them, and then beat Ralph Sampson in Virginia down there.
This is a Cincinnati team that at the end of the year, Billy, during the regular season, kind of hit the doldrums with late losses to Louisville and Marquette, plus that long-range shot by Arizona. Had to win 2 games in overtime in the Conference USA tournament. Now a little show. Flint.
Nice teamwork there. Fortson could have put that away himself. Not concerned about individual stats. Just give it up and have some fun.
Saunders lays it in for his 2. 7 points for the freshman.
Agree again, Jim, just so strong in the upper body, and when he sits down low with that dribble, Barry just can't reach for him. Harpering is ready just to fall over on the floor. He is absolutely out. He can hardly get to the foul line just to take position. The young man really built himself up over the off season, and I'm sure we'll go back to it by the time he comes back next